So in today's video we are going to learn how you can play the you're right, going to learn the French defense. After e4 we are going to play the move pawn to e6, initiating the French defense, and our idea is to push d5. For example, the most common move in this position is d4, after which we can play d5 attacking the center. Now here white has three common responses: knight to c3, pawn takes on d5, and pawn to e5. Let's go pawn to e5 first. Now we can play c5, pressurizing the center. Taking the pawn is not good for white, as it will activate our bishop, and the pawn on e5 is a little bit weak and clumsy. That's why I'm playing c3, defending the center. Now we add more pressure to the center and defends it. Now we play queen to b6, putting even more pressure towards the center. But actually, I got a bit trap here. After bishop d3, it looks like we win a pawn. But actually, if you get greedy and if you take this pawn, then you're gone. Because after knight takes, queen takes, there is bishop to b4 check, and you lose the queen. So that's not good for you. So after bishop to b3, actually you can just play bishop to d7, and then I is forced to actually defend the pawn, because there is no check, because our bishop would be covering it. So after bishop to e2, we can now play the move knight to e7. Rotating, we can rotate our knight to f5, or even more interesting, the knight to h6. For example, if we get taken, you can actually just take this, and the rook is trapped. So they first have to knight d2, and then we take the bishop, in which we are obviously a pawn. So after knight to h6, instead of taking the bishop, white may decide to castle, after which we can play bishop e7, let's say knight d2, castle, and now white will move his knight away to attack our knight, and now after takes, actually it's going to be bad for us. So we rotate our knight to f5, putting even more pressure towards the center. If white takes, we just take back, and we have a great position out of the opening. Let's go back. So basically that was about the advanced variation. There are not many things in the advanced. So now let's look at the exchange variation. After pawn takes on d5, we take back and we play a symmetrical structure. I mean, this is just easy to play, drawish games. c6, then knight to d7, rook to b8, queen to c7 maybe, and yeah, this is just very easy to play. You just normally develop, you just castle, and you're great. Now let's look at the least common response, but it's actually the very best response, which is knight to c3. There are many variations from here, but I have chosen the very much easiest variation that you can play, which is the Rubinstein variation. After takes, knight takes, and knight d7, this is the Rubinstein Blackburn defense. Here we are preparing knight gf6, and let's say if bishop d3 gets cleared, now we can play knight gf6. If we are taken, obviously we are going to take back with the knight. Nothing bad. But if we don't get taken, we are going to have a setup like this: castles, and here a very important move would be b6, intending to feign controllership. Most people would take and play rook e1, but then we can feign our bishop with bishop to b7, and if they take here, it's not bad. I mean, c3, it's a new game, but some ideas could be putting the rook on c8 and d8, and then bringing the queen out to d7, playing c5 and some variations, and we are doing great in the Rubinstein variation, as we know. Now let us look at some common mistakes that we can see to punish those mistakes, what we can do. So the very bad mistake is this bishop to b3. Some people say that's good, but it's actually not that good, because after takes, we just get a crucial tempo on the bishop, and I mean, wherever it backs up, we have a nice and great position. We can just normally develop, and believe it or not, white is great here, because the bishop on f3 is doing nothing. I mean, literally nothing. We can actually further block it with c6. So in that lateral variation, actually we are doing a lot great. But another mistake mistake is playing the move bishop to c4, which many beginners will do. This is bad because after d5 takes, we are getting a crucial tempo on the bishop, and the bishop has to back up, and we have a pawn in the center. Yes, so I can also put a pawn in the center, but the problem is that because of that tempo, we will be always ahead in development even though white moves first, and this tempo can be crucial in many games. For example, taking the open file. This is very important in chess games to take the open files so that you can have good control of your rooks. Another common mistake which I have seen from many players is playing knight to c3. It's no issue actually. Knight to c3 if you just play like d4 or takes, and here you can play d4. It's a bad one, but I've seen many winners play that. What's the problem here with knight f3 is we can go knight f6, and let's say now we play d4. We again have equalized in development. So basically, what are we looking for in this variation is that we are looking to equalize as black and to gain a lot of crucial tempo developing moves. Now the last one is like the worst. It's queen to h5. This is a very common beginner mistakes which I have seen from many beginner level players, and this is just not okay. So knight to f6, the queen backs up, bishop e7, and here big mistake is bishop c4. Why? Because then we can have a brilliant discard attack, and then we can actually just play like knight to b6. We have rerouted the knight, and basically there's nothing. I mean, this call-less tactic just doesn't work. We are lots of higher in development, and it's bad. It's really bad. I mean, it's literally very bad. What is just too bad here? d5. I mean, let's say b3. You can play bishop here. We are cleanly better, and there's nothing to worry about. One thing that I forgot to tell you in the exchange variation backing up here, if you want to play a little bit aggressive, exchange variation is usually very drawish. But if you want to be a little bit aggressive, you can actually go knight to c6, and you can try to castle on the queen side by playing queen to d7 and long castle. So that was about the French defense. I hope you liked today's video. Have a nice day and subscribe to the channel.